So welcome you all for Tungal online classes. Yesterday we started the chapter electromagnetic induction. In this electromagnetic induction, yesterday we completed Faraday experiments, coil experiment and coil and magnet experiment. Okay Nara? So today class we'll discuss, first we'll start our discussion with the magnetic flux. What is magnetic flux? Magnetic flux represented by the symbol phi or phi b, because electric flux also there, that is phi e. Here I can write magnetic flux either phi or phi b, because yesterday in many times I told to you the magnetic field will be represented in terms of magnetic flux. Okay Nara? So what is magnetic flux? Already you studied in electrostatics. What is electric flux ra? Electric flux is the measure of electric number of electric field lines passing through given surface normally. So if I consider electric field lines through this given surface, how many field lines are passing? That measure is given by electric flux. So electric flux is the dot product of electric field intensity and area vector. What is area vector? If I draw a normal to the area, this is the area A. If I draw a normal to the area n cap, then it is represented by A bar. Area vector you know already. Area vector direction will be in the direction of, so which one? In the direction of, so if A bar is a area vector, A bar is equal to A into n cap. You draw normal to the area, the normal drawn to the area represented by the unit vector n cap, then the direction of A bar is in the direction of n cap, then A bar is equal to A into n cap. This you studied in electrostatics, that is electric flux. So electric flux is the dot product of electric field intensity, which is E into A into cos theta. So what is theta? Theta is the angle between electric field intensity and area vector. To understand magnetic flux, so once again I am recalling this electric flux. Okay Nara? Magnetic flux question, so we will get the question based on magnetic flux for 1 mark. What is magnetic flux? Or write down the units of magnetic flux, or write down the dimensional formula for magnetic flux. And what is the sign convention for electric flux? The field lines which are outward, then electric flux is taken as positive, which are inward, electric flux is taken as negative. Okay Nara? Now I will discuss regarding magnetic flux. What is magnetic flux? So what is the general definition? Every definition, number of ways will be there. Normally the magnetic flux is the measure of total number of magnetic field lines passing through given surface. So what is the definition? The total number of, it is a measure of total number of magnetic field lines, passing through so given surface, given surface. So basically what is magnetic flux? Magnetic flux is a measure. What does it measure? How many number of magnetic field lines. What are magnetic field lines? In magnetism and matter chapter you study. So magnetic field lines you know that now. So if I consider a north pole and south pole, then magnetic field lines are the what? These are the straight lines or curve such that the tangent drawn to at any point will gives us the direction of magnetic field. Regarding the field lines, you studied properties also. Field lines will never intersect. they will start from the north pole, terminate at south pole. If they are crowded means magnetic field is stronger. If they are so lesser means magnetic field is weaker. That already you know that properties. That measure of number of, it is a measure of the number of, so definition note down, magnetic flux is the measure of total number of magnetic field lines passing through given surface. Okay, Nara? If I want to show with the diagram, so these are the magnetic field lines. Then if I consider certain area or certain surface, through this surface how many number of magnetic field lines passing, that measure is given by magnetic flux. Definition clear, Dara? This magnetic flux can be also defined as the dot product of magnetic field induction and area vector. Whenever magnetic field is uniform, how can we come to know magnetic field is uniform? When magnetic field is uniform, field lines are straight and parallel lines. Which lines? Straight and parallel lines. If this is our given area, if I draw normal to the area, this is the normal drawn to the area. This normal drawn to the area will give you the direction of unit vector or area vector, and theta is the angle between B bar and A bar. Then magnetic flux can be measured by the dot product of magnetic field induction and area vector. Whenever if you perform the dot product of magnetic field induction and area vector will give you magnetic flux, which can be also written as, so magnetic flux is equal to B into A into cos theta. So what is theta? Theta is the angle between B bar and A bar. What is the name of B bar? Magnetic field induction. Like electric field intensity, this is magnetic field induction, and A is the angle between, so B bar and A bar. But remember, this is the formula what we can write when the total area you know, and if the magnetic field is uniform. But every time magnetic field is not uniform. If this is my given area such that magnetic field is different at different places. Let me consider a small area dA, and I draw normal to the area. So normal drawn to the area, this is dA bar, which is in the direction of n cap. And for example, magnetic field value different at different places dB1. What I am doing is, if the total area divided into the small number of elements, before this let me tell you, so if I consider this is again once again I am considering the uniform magnetic field only. So in this uniform magnetic field let me consider a area. Now in the, out of the total area let me consider a small area. The small area normal drawn will give you the direction of ds bar. When you know the small area, the magnetic field is given by, magnetic flux given by, so small flux is d phi. This magnetic flux is the dot product of which one? So B bar dot ds bar. What is the difference? When total area given means B bar dot A bar will give you the total magnetic flux. When small area given means, so magnetic flux is B bar dot ds bar, which is given by B into ds into cos theta. If the magnetic field is everywhere uniform, if you divide the total area into number of elements, then how can I calculate the total magnetic flux? The total magnetic flux will be given by summation of, so B bar dot dSi bar. This is the formula whenever magnetic field is uniform. So which can be also written as so summation of, if all areas are identical, B into ds. If the number of areas, if the each area infinitesimally small, when number of areas are infinitesimally small, so magnetic flux can be written as, so B bar dot ds bar. So this flux value will be given by B into ds into cos theta. There are number of methods are there to calculate the total magnetic flux. Here the total area divided into number of elements. This is our area. This area was divided into the number of elements. Into how much? Number of elements. And calculating magnetic flux through each element. Then by adding the total elements, magnetic flux, will get total magnetic flux. If the elements are infinitesimal, if the elements area infinitesimally small, the number of elements will become infinite. When number of elements are finite, we will use summation. When number of elements are infinite, we will use integration. So there are two methods are there. Even in electric flux also, we will write electric flux is equal to, so integration of E into ds into cos theta. Even we used it there. So that Gauss law application, that only electric flux. Okay, Nara? Then phi is equal to integration of B into ds into cos theta. So total area given means B bar dot A bar. Small area given means B bar dot ds bar. Calculate the total flux means by doing either summation or integration. Which one? Either summation or integration. So this is regarding how to measure the magnetic flux. Okay, Nara? After measuring, so magnetic flux is a scalar quantity. Which quantity? Scalar quantity. Why it is a scalar quantity? Which has only magnitude. It is a number, counting of number. That too, it is the dot product of B bar and A bar. So dot product of two vectors will be always a scalar. That you know that. So magnetic flux is a which quantity? Scalar quantity. And SI unit of magnetic flux given by SI unit of magnetic field induction is Tesla. So Tesla meter square. This Tesla meter square has one unit name, that is given by Weber. What is SI unit term? Weber. When magnetic flux is said to be 1 Weber, how can we define Weber definition? So magnetic flux is said to be 1 Weber if magnetic field lines are if B value is 1 Tesla and A value 1 meter square, then obviously flux will become 1 Weber. When magnetic flux is said to be 1 Weber, if the number of magnetic field lines, so due to the magnetic field of induction 1 Tesla, if 1 Tesla magnetic field induction lines are passing through area of 1 meter square, then flux is said to be 1 Weber. Understood, Ara? So that is SI unit of magnetic flux. Whereas the CGS units are given by Maxwell. The CGS unit of magnetic field induction is Maxwell. And one important conversion here is, so 1 Weber is equal to 10 to the power of 8 Maxwell. 10 to the power of 8 Maxwell is equal to 1 Weber. So conversions are very important and units also important. So one more question, define what is magnetic flux. Measure of number of magnetic field lines passing through given surface. And what is the SI unit? So Weber. CGS units are given by this Maxwell, and this is the conversion. Since magnetic flux is a scalar quantity, so it may be positive or it may be negative or it may be 0. So when it is positive, when it is negative and when it is 0. So let me discuss the special cases for magnetic flux. What are the special cases? First one is, if the magnetic field is touching the given surface tangentially. So this is our given surface. If the magnetic field lines are like this, means magnetic field is parallel to the plane, the given surface. So whenever B bar is parallel, now normal drawn will be like this now. This is the direction of A bar. What is the angle between B bar and A bar? So theta is equal to 90. Here what you can tell, if angle between B bar and A bar theta 90, when theta 90, field lines are tangential to the given surface, then theta 90, that time what happened to flux? Flux will be 0. Why flux is 0? So flux is the dot product of B into A into cos 90. Cos 90 value 0, that's why flux value will be equal to 0. Always remember, whenever the magnetic field is tangential to the given surface, so what happened to the magnetic flux value will be equal to 0. Okay, Nara? The second one is, so whenever magnetic field is, now this is our given surface, so magnetic field is normal to the surface. This is the direction of B bar. So what is the direction of normal? This one n cap. N cap direction is in the direction of which one? A bar direction, in the direction of n cap. And B bar and A bar both are in the same direction. When B bar and A bar both are in the same direction, theta value equal to 0. When theta 0, flux value B into A into cos 0. So this cos 0 value 1. What happened to flux? B into E. When magnetic flux is maximum, when magnetic field is normal to the given surface, then magnetic flux value is maximum. Okay, Nara? Very, very, very important points. So magnetic flux value when it is maximum. Whenever magnetic field is perpendicular to given surface, so we can define what is magnetic field induction. Since when theta value, if theta 0, when theta 0, so magnetic field is perpendicular to the given surface. When theta 0, flux is B into A, then from this B value is equal to phi divided by E. Magnetic field induction can be also defined as the magnetic flux per unit area, or it is also defined as the number of magnetic field lines passing through given surface normally per unit area. So that is the definition of which one? Magnetic flux. So magnetic field induction, this is what is the name of B is magnetic field induction. Magnetic field induction can be defined in terms of magnetic field lines or magnetic flux per unit area. That is the definition of magnetic field induction. Okay, Nara? Magnetic field induction. I want to write the dimensional formula for magnetic, which one? Magnetic field, magnetic flux. To write the dimensional formula, if field lines are normal to the surface, then phi is equal to B into E. Already last chapter you written the dimensional formula for B. So what is B? B defined as the force acting on the unit north pole. Magnetic field induction can be defined as the force acting per unit north pole. Okay, Nara? Then or otherwise, as per our moving charges and magnetism, we define that, so F value is Q into V into B. Whenever magnetic field is perpendicular, force acting on a charge is given by F is equal to QVB. From this, B is equal to F divided by Q into V. So from this, what is the dimensional formula of F? ml t power minus 2 by, so charge dimensional formula A into T, velocity dimensional formula L into t power minus 1. Finally, what is the dimensional formula? Here we'll get is, the dimensional formula for B is given by dimensional formula of B. So is equal to how much? That is m, L power, L value cancel na numerator denominator, L power 0 and T power, So t power how much we'll get? T power minus 2 and a power minus 1. Correct dimensional formula? So that is, since by the formula F is equal to QVB, B is equal to F divided by Q into V, force is equal to mass into acceleration, acceleration value L into t power minus 2. By charge is A into t, velocity distance by time, that is L into t power minus 1. So what is the dimensional formula? M L power 0 t power minus 2 a power minus 1. This is the dimensional formula for B. But now I want the dimensional formula for flux. So B dimensional formula M L power 0 t power minus 2 and a power minus 1 into area L square. So finally what I will get? M L square t power minus 2 and a power minus 1. This is the dimensional formula of magnetic flux. Important question for 1 mark. What is magnetic flux dimensional formula? So this is the dimensional formula for magnetic flux. Okay Nara? Even this magnetic flux units can be also written as, so what we got the magnetic flux here as per this is the dimensional formula ml square t power minus 2 is the dimensional formula of energy. Energy by, so what can I able to write? Flux is equal to energy divided by which one? So ampere. Current. Energy divided by the dimensional formula of energy, which is here energy as it is I will write, correct by ampere. Ampere is the unit of current. So energy can be written as, energy units are same as that of work done by ampere. Current can be written as, so I is equal to Q by T na, energy divided by ampere. From this we can write one more unit for this, volts by second. Here energy dimensional formula, energy divided by ampere, energy dimensional formula, energy can be written as work done by ampere. I is equal to Q by T, which is W by Q into T. So W by Q is nothing but the work done by charge, that is nothing but volt. So volt second. Volt second is also one more unit of flux. Okay Nara? So these are this is regarding magnetic flux. This chapter magnetic flux will play very important role. Even in last time also we studied the change in the magnetic field will be measured in terms of magnetic flux. When flux is increasing, when flux is decreasing. So that concept to get clearly, if you want to understand the total EMI chapter, you need to get clearly the concept of magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is the measure of magnetic field lines. Whenever flux entering, so here also we will take the convention, sign convention for the magnetic flux. The flux which is leaving, we will take it as positive. The flux which is entering, we will take it as negative. So that is the sign convention for magnetic flux. After completion of the sign convention, now we will discuss Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's laws of EMI, electromagnetic induction. So very important question for 3 marks. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. From his experimental studies, from his experimental conclusions, Faraday has given the 2 laws. So first one is the Faraday's first law. Faraday's first law of EMI and Faraday's second law of EMI. We'll see the statement of Faraday's first law. First I will tell you, then I will dictate. What is Faraday's first law statement? whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked with a coil, an EMF induces, hence the current will flow in that coil. So this is the Faraday's first law. So what is the statement? Whenever there is a change which one should be change in magnetic flux linked with a coil. So what should be changed? Magnetic flux should be changed. So it is linked with a coil. A coil is nothing but a closed loop. Magnetic flux linked with a coil changes. So then what happens? An EMF induces. What will be induces? EMF induces, and hence current will flow. So current flow in that loop, or current flow in the coil. Which is the current here flow? That current is called as induced current. Which current name? Induced current. Actually this is the definition of which one? The definition of magnetic flux only. Even explanation for this first law we will get it from where? From the Faraday's experiment. You take either coil and coil experiment or coil and magnet experiment. So what we will consider? Galvanometer connected to the coil, and we will consider one bar magnet. So let us start moving the bar magnet towards the coil or away from the coil. So now actually what happens? When bar magnet is moving towards the coil, flux linked with the coil increases. Whenever a bar magnet is moving away from the coil, flux linked with the coil decreases. Whenever coil is moving towards the fixed bar magnet, flux linked with the coil increases. Whenever a bar magnet is moving away from the fixed bar magnet, whenever a coil is moving away from the fixed bar magnet, so flux value decreases. Due to the relative motion between the bar magnet and coil or two coils, so then obviously what happens? Flux value changing. But when flux is changing, so what happens? There is a change in magnetic flux linked with a coil. So in that coil what happens? An EMF induces, hence the current will flow in that coil. Understood, Ara? So most probably they will ask you only the statement. They won't ask explanation, but you can explain by taking any one experiment. This is coil and magnet experiment. Even you can explain this law based on so coil and coil experiment also. Even you can also explain based on one more coil and coil experiment with a plug key. Your wish. First statement understood, Ara? So what is the statement of this Faraday's first law? Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked with the coil changes. So whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked with a coil, no need of writing two times. Already whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked with a coil, then what happens? An EMF induces, and hence the current will flow in the coil. So this is the Faraday's first law. I think it is cleared. Faraday first law, statement and explanation. Okay, Nara? So this is Faraday's first law. Next, Faraday's second law. So what is the Faraday's second law? Okay, EMF inducing, that induced EMF magnitude value depends upon which factors? So what is Faraday's second law statement? Second law is very important compared with the first law. When many times asked question for 3 marks. So first let me tell you the statement. According to this, so actually what happened? The induced EMF developed in a coil is directly proportional to the induced EMF developed in a coil. Induced EMF developed in a coil. So whenever there is a change in magnetic flux, there is a change in magnetic flux linked with a coil. Magnetic flux linked with a coil is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. Rate of change of magnetic flux. Okay, Nara? This is a statement of Faraday's second law. So you can note down the second law statement. What is the statement? So the induced EMF developed in a coil, or EMF induced EMF developed in a coil. But when induced EMF develop? When there is a change in magnetic flux linked with a coil. That induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. To give the statement, what is the experiment? They already first experiment they observed. You can explain. So what is the reason for this statement? Now by taking a coil and magnet experiment, what they observed that by keeping the coil at rest, whenever a bar magnet is moving towards the coil, so galvanometer showing the deflection. They observed that if the bar magnet is moving fastly towards the coil, so deflection is more. If the bar magnet is moving slowly towards the coil, the deflection is less. Why deflection more? When there is, so whenever bar magnet is moving towards the coil fastly, the flux linked with the coil will be more. Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux is more induced EMF will develop. Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux is less induced EMF will develop. So bar magnet moving fastly means more flux changes, more EMF. Bar magnet moving slowly means less flux changes, so less EMF. Okay, Nara? So that by using that experiment they made this. If you want the explanation, so for this second law explanation also important. So what is the experiment? Second law explanation. The explanation for the second law. So let us consider. So phi 1 is the flux linked with the coil. Phi 1 is the flux linked with the coil. Flux linked with the coil. So at any time, the flux linked with the coil is phi 1, and phi 2 is the flux linked with the coil. Flux linked with the coil. So after t seconds, how much time? After t seconds, the flux linked with the coil is t, phi 2. Let me consider, when I started the experiment, the initial flux linked with the coil is phi 1, and after t seconds, the final flux is phi 2. This is Faraday's second law explanation. Faraday's second law. Okay, Nara? Now, so what is the rate of change of flux? Rate of change of flux. Rate of change of flux, which is given by final flux minus initial flux divided by time. Then according to Faraday's second law, what is Faraday's second law tells us? Faraday's second law tells us this induced EMF, so EMF induced or induced EMF is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux. Okay na? Rate of change of magnetic flux, that is E, induced EMF E, directly proportional to phi 2 minus phi 1 divided by T. Okay na? So this phi 2 minus phi 1, what I written for explanation. If they ask to explain, so Faraday's second law, let us consider a coil connected to the galvanometer and bar magnet, so which is moving towards the coil. If the bar magnet is moving towards the coil slowly, so deflection is small. If the bar magnet is moving fastly, deflection is more. The reason here is because of the moving of bar magnet fastly, more flux linked with the coil, hence produce more EMF and more current. Whenever a bar magnet is moving slowly, less magnetic flux linked with the coil, hence less current is produced. So that is, the conclusion is what? The induced EMF developed is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux. So let us consider at any time the flux linked with the coil is phi 1. After t seconds, the flux linked with the coil is phi 2. Then the rate of change of flux given by this, according to Faraday's second law. So what is the statement of Faraday's second law? Induced EMF directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux, that is, so E directly proportional to phi 2 minus phi 1 divided by T. So to calculate the induced EMF, what I want to measure? So we need to measure rate of change of magnetic flux. Whenever magnetic flux change will be small, then we can also write d phi divided by dt. What is? Whenever the change in the magnetic flux, small change in the magnetic flux is d phi, then I can also write E value directly proportional to d phi divided by dt. So actually here, if magnetic flux if there is only one turn is there, so you can write the magnetic flux. If there are, actually what is magnetic flux definition? B bar dot A bar, which is given by B into A into cos theta. This is the formula for a coil of 1 turn. But if the coil having many number of turns, the coil having many n number of turns, with 1 turn, magnetic flux is B into A into cos theta. For n turns, N into B into A into cos theta. Understood, Ara? So then, what can I write for E? E directly proportional to d by dt of N into B into A into cos theta. Okay, na? Which can be also written as E is equal to minus K into so d phi by dt, where K is a proportionality constant. This minus sign will give you the direction of induced EMF. The induced EMF direction will be in a direction opposite to the rate of change of magnetic flux. The direction of that induced EMF given by Lenz's law. Faraday has not given any information regarding the direction of EMF. The direction of EMF is given by which law? Lenz's law. So regarding this minus sign, we will discuss in the Lenz's law. You should come to know the minus sign is indicating E and d phi by dt both are in opposite direction, where K is a proportionality constant. Experimentally, the value of K, so if K value is equal to 1, then what happened to E value? Minus d phi by dt. So minus d phi by dt. If I substitute the value of phi, so then what I will get? EMF. Statement, second last statement, okay na? Statement written na? So this is the part what I explained for explanation. Explanation part up to here, okay na? So this is. So this what we calculate. So Faraday's which law? Second law. And finally, what is the conclusion we can write? So E is equal to minus d phi by dt. E is equal to minus d phi by dt, which is equal to minus d by dt of phi value, magnetic flux value, n into b into a into cos theta. This is the expression for induced EMF. So how much induced EMF will develop in a coil? That is given by the formula minus d by dt of n into b into a into cos theta. EMF will be induced by changing the flux, but flux can be changed. Flux can be changed. What is the formula for flux? For a coil of n turns, flux formula n into b into a into cos theta. Flux can be changed, so phi can be changed. How can we change the magnetic flux? So can be changed by changing which one? So by changing n. By changing which one? We can change the flux. By changing, first point is n. What is n? Number of turns. By increasing or decreasing the number of turns, you can change the flux linked with a coil. The second one is flux can be changed by changing the magnetic field value. By changing the magnetic field induction, you can change the flux, and flux can be changed by changing the area value. You can increase or decrease the area, you can change the flux, and flux can be changed by changing the theta value. So what is theta? Theta is the angle between B bar and A bar. By rotating the coil continuously, the theta value changes. By changing theta, you can change the flux. In order to change the flux, these are the four methods are there. You can increase the number of turns, you can increase the magnetic field induction, you can increase the area, you can change the theta. But when you increase the area or number of turns, coil will become bulky. When coil will become bulky, resistance value increase. So current value will be decreased. That's why the better option, so you can increase either B value. Even compare with this increasing of or changing B, it is better to go theta. Whenever a coil is rotating in external magnetic field, so then also we can change the flux value. Understood, Ara? This is Faraday's second law of electromagnetic induction. So two laws are very important. What is first law? Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked with the coil, an EMF induces in the coil, hence the current will flow in the coil. That current is called as induced current. So whereas the second one, the induced EMF developed in a coil whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked with the coil is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux. Which one? Rate of change of magnetic flux. So here I calculated what is the induced EMF developed in a coil. So induced EMF is given by E is equal to minus d phi by dt. By knowing induced EMF, I can calculate induced current. How much current will be induced? That value given by, since I is equal to E by R, current is equal to EMF by resistance. Correct, Ara? So I is equal to E by R, which is given by minus 1 by R into d phi by dt. Where what is R? Capital R is the resistance of the coil. Coil resistance is given by capital R, which is 1 by capital R into d phi by dt. So this is the value of induced current. The last point for this class is, by knowing induced current, so we can also calculate what is the induced charge. How much charge will be induced? Induced charge. How can we calculate? Since I is equal to dq by dt, from this dq is equal to I into dt. If I want q, integration of dq, which is integration of I into dt, or otherwise better I will write, if I write I is equal to q by t, then q is equal to I into t. So in terms of even induced EMF can be also written I is equal to E by R, where E is can be also written as phi 2 minus phi 1 divided by T with minus into 1 by R. Correct, Ara? From this, so what will get? Q is equal to phi 2 minus phi 1 by T. This is the value of into 1 by R into T. T cancel. Then induced charge is equal to minus of phi 2 minus phi 1 divided by R. This is the formula. Even this induced charge can be also written as minus of d phi by R. This is the formula to calculate the induced charge. Understood, Ara? How much charge will be induced? The induced charge value, induced EMF value, induced current value depends upon how much flux is changing in how much time. Whereas the induced charge value does not depends upon the time. How much flux is changing in how much time is not necessary. We want only the change in flux. We don't want the rate of change of flux. Okay, Nara? This is regarding Faraday laws. The next class we will discuss regarding the Lenz law. What is the direction of this induced EMF? That is given by Lenz law. Okay, Nara? Okay, thank you.